The Marketing Funnel Strategy Show. More leads. More sales. More predictability.
Introducing Jared Hyman, sales and marketing expert. Introducing Serena Carly, marketing and outsourcing expert.
G'day there, everyone. Welcome to the Marketing Funnels and Strategy Show for the 12th of July. Is this the first one, Serena, for the new financial year, Australian financial year?
Yes, it would have to be. I think the last one was 7, 8, 9, 10 days ago. No, it's not. We had one on the Friday.
So we did have one in the new financial year.
Yeah.
Crazy. And I'm back in the office again now, excited to sort of get stuck into it today with the Marketing Funnels and Strategy Show. And you guys know the deal. As you're tuning in live, make sure you like, share this out with more people, sharing up-to-date, cutting-edge strategies to help you guys take things to a new level in 2021. And the big top subject we want to talk about now is we're halfway through the year. And, you know, when you're halfway through the year, what does that mean? Well, it's time to check in and see how things went for so far this financial year or this actual calendar year. Check in on the goals and everything that everyone sets at the start of the year. Because let's face it, Serena, right? So many people start a goal or set a goal in January and then get to the middle of the year. Not too many people make it to the middle of the year in line with their goals, right? I think the percentage is like 1-2% of people that actually make it outside of January, let alone to July, right, with their goals. So I want to talk a lot around today, checking in with all of you that are watching the Marketing Funnels and Strategy Show, that tune in with us live every single week. And if this is your first episode, probably a good place to start as well, because over the last 4 weeks we were running through the 8 key areas that you must use or must have in place to run profitable, scalable marketing campaigns on the internet as well. That was literally 4 weeks worth, 2 times a week, 8-part series that you guys want to go back and watch all of those episodes over the last 4 weeks. We spoke about so much, and it kind of works out well now too, because we're sitting now July 12, halfway through the year, and we want you to finish the year with a bang, those of you that are watching the show. Serena, you've done heaps and goal setting over the years yourself, and in many businesses that you've run and all that type of stuff too. What are some keys that you use to keep yourself on track with your goals?
Hi everyone, by the way. I have to use many many keys actually, to be honest with you. I guess it's because, being a right brain or ADHD type of person, there's things going through, stop smiling, things going through my head like sort of very fast. So, you've got to, one thing that I've always thought of from the beginning is you have to draw a visual, and it's almost like a mind map. And for me, obviously the visual and the mind map works because when you visualize something, you create it. So it's important for one of your goals is to see into the future what your end results are, and then draw how you see the journey to it. And then that way it sort of keeps you on track. It's a little bit different to just sort of normal goal setting where you write down, 12-month goals and 5 years goals and stuff like that. I'm sort of not really into that sort of stuff because they get lost. What I am into is the visual of a mind map, which tends to, well, this is what I drew. And then even if you lose it, 12 months later, you can go back and go, oh my God, this happened, because you've already created it in your mind as an outcome. So that's probably one of the most significant and important way of doing something in my style.
Yeah,
If that
I agree with you as well, right? The visualization of, the goal that you want to achieve and so on as well. And for me, I know when it comes to goal setting for me is I like to think big picture. What is the ideal situation I want by the end of the year or, 12 months from today, and then breaking it down to mini steps and things that must be done and KPIs to hit to be able to get to those points as well, right? So, I think we're very similar in that way where, we go big picture and then we break down to small goals and all that type of stuff as well. Because, the biggest thing I find is setting goals and not sticking to them, right? Things change, obviously, throughout the time where we have goals and, we want to keep on track and all that type of stuff. We do our best to keep on track a lot of the time too. But, one thing that I'm always constantly working on myself is my own self-discipline as well, right? Because I have a tendency to go off track and see another shiny object, right? And go, I'm going in that direction. That looks, like a great route to go down, right? That shiny object syndrome that so many people go down. What's this? What's that?
What? Well, you're just talking about the shiny. That's a orgonite for changing weather. But it's just sort of dangling the shiny object in front of you.
But that's what it's like, right? Like so many business owners, they see that next thing or that next wave or that new funnel or that new strategy or consistently going off track with new things. Okay. But the biggest thing I've found is sticking to the one track, continuing to do the one track over and over again, duplicating the result, right? Extreme focus. And for me, for many years, I wasn't able to stay focused, and I would go off track and I would do other things, and I would see that shiny object, and I still do it from time to time too, but it's the practice of that discipline that we must have as business owners, as we must have as marketers, as we must have as husbands, wives, friends, whatever it is, that discipline to stay on track, that discipline to do those things daily, those small little wins. Too many people have a tendency to beat themselves up because they don't do things, and then they lose hours and hours and hours of time, right? When you could just reset yourself there and then and just focus on winning the day at the least, right? So the message for the end of to the end of this year is pretty simple, right? Like if you haven't achieved the goals that you want to achieve by now, what it's going to take is it's going to take something different to be done, and it's going to take focus. It's going to take discipline, right? Disciplining yourself to take those actions every day to push yourself outside your comfort zone, right? And, if that is a big push with marketing, if that is a big push with, sales and, doing things that you normally wouldn't do, saying things that you normally wouldn't say, and move yourself forward, right? It's going to take these types of actions, these scarier types of actions, to be able to help you get to a new level by the end of the year. Because no doubt every single one of you, I have no doubt, you would have set yourself some goals for 2021, right? And for us, it was world domination. Wasn't it, Serena?
Yeah, well, just to hit me when you said that, and I'm going, oh my God, I remember that.
Yeah.
How long
we said that last year.
did we joke about that? Well, joking. How long ago did we bring that up at the very beginning, world domination?
Well, we were definitely going to do world domination. We actually started speaking about that just before the pandemic, actually.
Okay, yeah. We're halfway. We're partway there.
World domination plans. We're definitely on track for world domination, right?
Well, we've definitely got world. We're just going to get the domination part. That takes a bit. That was a big ask. So it's not something that will just happen in the blink of an eye. That's a lot of preparation, and and a lot of that maybe around the coaching. We're also getting at the moment to, you can't coach people unless you're being coached yourself. So, you know, if anybody's out there that has a coach, you know, you need to ask them, do they have a coach also? Because if they don't, then they're not growing. You need to be coached.
Damn straight. And these are the things, right? So it's like, you know, if you haven't got a coach at the moment, you've got to get yourself a coach as well, right? Because if you are wanting to achieve what you set in January, you need someone to help guide you down the path to hitting those goals, right? Because, you know, we have a tendency to think that we know everything. I know for many, many years, I'm like, I know everything. You know, I was thinking that I know everything, right? But I was just the biggest dumbass out of us all, thinking that I actually freaking knew everything when I don't, you know? So it's like, it's another curse or an entrepreneurial curse where you go through those periods where you think you know everything. Oh, I don't need a coach, right? I know all this already, and one of the most famous sayings, I think it was by Tony Robbins. I'm pretty sure it was Tony Robbins that said it. To know and not to do is not to know. So if you know something and you don't do it, then you don't really know it. Otherwise, you'd be doing it anyway, right? I think we've all been through these periods where we're like, yeah, I know, but you don't know, because if you did know, you would be doing it anyway, right? And to be able to get to a point where at the end of the year you've hit those goals that you want to hit, you've got to really be vulnerable in those moments. You've got to say, well, look, obviously there's something here that I don't know that I'm doing currently that is sabotaging my success, right? That is keeping me where I am, is keeping me average, right? And, you know, if you can get yourself out of those little slumps, you'll find yourself in a very, very different position. And, you know, in business, it can change so quickly. You know, a month from today, 2 months from today, 3 months from today, it could be an extreme momentum, right? And you will look back at this time where you might have not been on track with your goals, and you go, if only I had done this a little bit sooner. But in saying that, everything has its, you know, course, right? Sometimes we've got to do things, or we've got to have certain lessons to be able to go, I understand now. And sometimes they're harsh lessons, right? Tell me, Serena, like some of the lessons that you've had in business over the years, right? Tough lessons. Some of them are hard, right?
Yes, I'm a very trusting person. So one of my biggest lessons I had, I've always been a giving person and wanting to help people. So I was in a different country. I put some big trust in some people in my office, and for 2 years, they stole all the money I was paying to the government for the health benefits of the staff, which nobody had any idea was happening. That was one of my biggest lessons. So, you know, but through the process to get there is to be careful what you're hearing from people. They will tell you things, if they know what your character is like, to get what they want from you, that are usually not true. So it's really hard now for people to be able to get to my soft side, because I can see through it. I've learned a lot of lessons around being taken advantage of in business, from both sides, from client side and from whatever. So you just have to sort of, you know, and look, I believe there are other people out there like me too. You know, and you sort of feel sorry for people, clients, for example, that come to you with a story, and, you know, you feel sorry for them and you do things for nothing, and then a lot of times they shit on you in the end. So, you know, it's, I just think you've got to stand strong in your confidence and what you do, and believe in yourself, just to sort of take a step back and say, as much as it's really great to be helping people, it may not be helping you in the long run.
And these are the things, right? Sometimes you also got to help yourself in order to help other people, right?
Yes. Like the airplane, you know, and I've said this to people before, you know, I had someone saying, oh, God, you know, they're a bit hurting over what's going on at the moment. They want to help everyone. I said, mate, you got to help yourself first. I said, just like the airplane. When that oxygen comes down, if you're not alive to help everybody else because you were too busy putting the oxygen on everybody else, what good are you? You're the person that needs to be alive because you have that strength then to help other people. So it's important that you do look after yourself first, look after your business first, look after your health first, you look after your family first, and then look after everybody else after that. So, yeah, that was probably the biggest. I'm just trying to think of the second biggest, actually. That was the first thing that came up to mind when you said that. I think the biggest, another learning that I got is it's a little bit like procrastination when you know you're procrastinating. So, for example, and you do it too, because I often say to you, I know the outcome. If you don't do this right now, I know what's going to happen. So you know something needs to be done, but you sort of put it off and put everything else in front of it. And either when you first start doing it, you probably don't know the outcome, but when you've done it quite a bit of time, it could be clients. You need to get back to clients. You need to get back to a client, and you say, must do that, and you don't, you're going to lose that client if you're not doing the right thing by clients. It's very important to know when you're procrastinating that you're going to have a loss from it. And that loss obviously can be different variable things, but to me it was with people that I kept saying, I've got to get back, and then something would distract me. And sometimes, I allowed the distraction, and then I lost whatever I was supposed to get back to. So that was another big learning to me. When you've got to do something, give it a little bit of priority, otherwise you can kiss it goodbye.
And this is the thing, right? It's focus, right? You lose focus, you lose your eye on the prize, right? And a large percentage of a business is, focusing on the clients that you do have instead of focusing on new ones consistently and getting new ones and all that type of stuff. So you've got to have that focus on what you already have there and nurture what you already have to be able to have more, right? And this has been huge focus of ours as well, right? And, nurturing what we have in order to acquire more, right? So, reputation is part of it, right? But, obviously this has been an interesting show so far today, hasn't it, Serena? Like we're talking about heaps of different things, right? Around, lessons had and, goals and setting goals and achieving goals and all this type of stuff. And I think, if, you do want to achieve goals by the end of the year, or if you aren't on track with what you set at the start of the year, large percentage of its focus, on what you do have, as well as, acquiring more as well. And, jumping through that procrastination loop that people can get into as well, procrastinating over doing certain things. And if you can bring yourself, and discipline, which I spoke about before, it's like disciplining yourself, right? Because I can say, I'm not on track with my health goals at the moment that I set with myself at the start of the year and I committed to doing, yet I've fallen off track with as well. Because, I've had excuses as to the reasons why I haven't achieved those goals as well. And, that's all on me. That's not on anybody else, right? People look at us even sometimes, right? And they go, oh, you guys are doing so well. You're doing all this sort of stuff. We don't feel like we're doing well. We feel like we could be doing a lot more than what we are, and I think this is all part of that winning mindset, right? Of, yes, we've had some great wins. Yes, we have done well, but we're just wanting more and more and more and more and more and doing more and more and more and more. And, a large percentage of what we got ourselves to this year is we've got to change strategy now to be able to do more again, right? So, yes, to a certain extent, we're on track for our goals, which is great. But at the same point in time, for us to be able to do more, we had to change strategy a little bit, which we're working on at the moment in the background, which will have the last of it all finalized this week and keep moving forward and kicking some goals, which is great. But, a large percentage of what we're talking about is how can you go about achieving your goals this year? What can you do differently? And how can you keep yourself on track? How can you stay disciplined? How can you stay focused? How can you really move yourself into action to be able to get to the end result that you're after? And hopefully this sort of, I guess, gives some people a little bit of a kick that they need as well, Serena, today, hopefully.
Hopefully, yeah. Might even give us a bit of a kick as well. Sometimes you've got to remember, and I always say this as coaching, is when you're coaching people, You know, you may think that you're helping people, you're actually always coaching yourself. So everything we say to everybody, we literally are saying it to ourselves, or we are saying it obviously, but we really need to look at that ourselves too, because we all do the same thing, and that's what keeps us on track also.
Exactly. So you've got to like, a lot of this sort of stuff is reminders for us to continue to do what we do as well, right? And to do things differently, and it helps us prompt, because a lot of what we talk about anyway is stuff that we're going through ourselves considerably as well, right, Serena? Different decisions that we're making, different things that we're doing, and how we're doing things right now. And
thought processes as well.
Exactly, right? So even sometimes as we're talking here, that you guys don't realize, we're actually sorting things out ourselves at the same time, right, in our conversation.
We do that all the time. We often start, we get onto a meeting, and the next minute we're explaining something, oh shit, that's the answer, and then boom, start, writing it down, because it's like you're trying to, come up with some stuff, and then as you're talking about it, and it's always great to talk with people, the ideas will start to flow. Oh my God, I just, how many times have I come to you with a question, and then as I've asked it, the bloody answer just comes to me straight away.
Yeah, all the time, every single time, actually. Every single time.
I know. I was going to say as well too, with people, as you get yourself more focused, more organized, more goal orientated, more visual with your mind map and everything, remember, as you grow, you need to grow internally in your business as well, because you need to keep up with it. Make sure you're aware of the growth needed through outsourcing. We are outsourcers to a certain degree ourselves, and plus we also use outsourcers to help take some of the load off us, so we're able to deal more direct with clients as well. You will need to start adding things to be able to handle the growth also, because you can't do everything yourself. And I did this years ago. I was learning, I set up an online business. I was learning SEO and social media through, I called it my Bible, the manual. And then I decided to become a trainer in NLP, timeline therapy, and hypnotherapy all at the same time. So here I am over in Thailand doing a work course. I've got the Bible. I'm online doing I used to go away for the training and setting up a whole and doing the website and everything like that. And I think I went to sleep with the NLP manual in my hand of a night time, because I could stay up late then, and then just sort of go from there. So just be careful you don't make yourself a one-man band. That's
damn for sure.
Or a one-man, one-woman band either.
That's for damn sure. Fantastic. Well, good episode today, guys. And we'll wrap this one up for today. Thanks so much for tuning in, those of you that have been tuning in live. What I want you to do is just share this one out to as many people as possible. Share it out. The episodes are free. We're talking about marketing, sales, mindset, heaps of different things here on the live, even just day-to-day life from time to time as well. So all absolutely free here on Facebook. Share it out to your friends. If somebody needs to hear maybe the message that we've given today, you never know. There's always somebody there that could benefit from it. And sometimes it's just, you could just say that one thing that just gets somebody and tweaks them into another gear, and that's what the whole show's about. It's about helping people to break through to that next level for them, whatever that is for them. So thanks so much for tuning in. Really appreciate it. We'll be here Friday, 1 p.m. Make sure you tune in. And don't forget to be here live. Make sure you're seeing everything here first on the page, and get notified every time we go live here as well.
And remember, if you don't fight for your freedom, nobody else will. So get out there, take action, and make it happen. And you will receive everything your heart desires plus more. I know it's a little bit different to yours.
Boom shakalaka. See you all Friday, 1 p.m., guys. Take it easy.